Hey, everyone. Tomorrow we have another strategy meeting, right? The quarterly strategy meeting for Japan. And that means we have to ask the question again, is there going to be another ban list? Is anything going to get hit? It's kind of weird tomorrow. Tomorrow we actually have like a English kind of announcement happening before the Japanese strategy announcement. And I think a lot of people are thinking it's, they've been looking at the font for that announcement and they've been going, maybe it's something that maybe we've been waiting for a very long time that's finally coming out. So it could be a new game. Is it going to be a new balance? I don't know, but that doesn't mean there could not be one for BCS, right? They could just announce it later like they always do, right? Japan might announce their restriction list and go, yeah, nothing's happened. And then English goes, hey, wait like a week. We have another announcement for this. So there could be something in the works, right? So I kind of compiled all the results for basically V-Prem and Premium, because for us and for our current format now, BCS/Worlds format, this is going to be the ones that matter the most. I think standard right now in English seems to be okay, right? It seems to be okay. But we can talk about in Japan what might not be okay and kind of maybe speculate on that. True. Now, if there is going to be any sort of restriction list though, it is going to be at a weird time because right now BCS is still ongoing. Of course, you can still schedule the list to come into effect after BCS. That means it will happen. It will come into effect for Worlds, right? And that's fine. I actually think that's fine. I would love to see a fresh new format for Worlds. It makes players have to innovate, have to use their brain. You see a new kind of format being played on screen rather than the same Steam Maiden format that we see for the last X months, right? So I think that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. As long as you're given enough time for the players to adapt and build new decks and get new cards, then I think it's all good. So with that said, let's see what we can do to make the format maybe better. Now I'm going to start off with Premium, and if you look at this table, this is basically all the tops that have occurred after the October restriction list. And you can see here that there is one deck that is definitely doing very, very strong, right? And that is Narukami. It is at 24 tops. This is for top 8, right? And then the next closest one is actually Bermuda Triangle at 13, and then Gear Chronicle at 11. So you can kind of see the format is basically Narukami, Bermuda Triangle, and Gear Chronicle. But how do we actually hit the format? Now, I just also want to say that, because it's in the middle of the season, you don't want to... I'd say you don't really want to destroy the format, right? Basically hit like 20 cards, hit like 15 clans, and reset the entire state, right? Make a clean slate. So, is there any small hits that we can do to equalize and make Premium better? And I'm going to throw this out there and say, I think the best course of action is maybe not to hit anything. Of course, Narukami is very, very high. It looks very, very strong. You have places like in Belgium where 6 Narukamis made it to top 8. But you have to kind of think, what is Narukami? Narukami is a very easy deck. It is basically the deck you should probably take to these tournaments because, when you look at the lists, what didn't get hit? Narukami. So that means it's the best deck, right? So that's what I think a lot of people are just taking. It's also a very easy deck to take to tournaments. And if you look at like the top 4 breakdown as well, this doesn't really change, although, it went from 24 to 14. So, top 8, top 4. So basically the format is still the same, right? It's still doubling base Gear Chronicle and Bermuda Triangle. But in order to, I think, fix like Premium, or like make Premium a better place, right? You probably do need to, touch on the format a bit more than just like hit the one clan, because it just means that other clans probably do better, right? I think there's different problems with Premium right now. Nothing as destructive as like Mystery Flare Dragon, Ripples, and things like that. Nothing like that. I think it's a small touch-up that will make it kind of a better play space, right? But that's something that probably should be reserved for after Worlds, right? You don't want such a huge shake-up. You just kind of want little touch-ups now, and I think, Narukami staying where it is right now shouldn't be too bad. Honestly, shouldn't be too bad. Also, just another thing, a lot of these, if we look at the regionals as well, post-restriction list, we only had 2 American regionals come up. There's still 2 more that are going to happen, right? So basically what we're missing here is Singapore data, and then I think New York and Anaheim data. So it'd be interesting to see the trends from there, whether, like, America plays differently. But yeah, That's just maybe something to look out for. The one format that could definitely do a big touch up, or just a little touch up that will make it a way better place, is V Premium. So if you look at these numbers compared to like the premium ones, there is definitely a deck that is messing up the format. Let's put it like that, right? So look, if you look at Gear Chronicle, there's 48 tops, right? 48 tops out of like 112 spots. Philippines was a top 16 cut, so I just kind of included them all in, right? But yeah, there are 48 Gear Chronicle tops, and they're all steam-aided. There's no other deck that is Gear Chronicle. Versus like, you know, in Narukami, there were some Vanquishers that made it, but you know, this one is all Steam Maiden, right? And that's pretty bad. You have like regionals where, let's look at this. Italy, 7 out of the top 8 was Steam Maiden, right? Philippines had the top 16. There were 9 out of 16 was Steam Maiden. These are bad numbers. You don't really want to see this happen. If you want to look at the top 4, right, you have Italy again. 4 out of the top 4 was Gear Chronicle, was Steam Maiden. Oh, I just messed that one up. And then like Melbourne as well, right? 4 out of 4. Yeah, they just Steam Maidens eliminated non-Steam Maidens, right? And they just sat there. You have a lot of regionals where the top 4 was 3 Steam Maidens. That's still very, very bad. So yeah, if you just look at the totals, 28 Gear Chronicle in top 4. Out of 52 possible spots. The next highest is Genesis with 6. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So how do we actually fix V Premium right here? I think it comes down to how badly do you want to destroy Steam Maidens? How badly do you not want to see Steam Maidens at Worlds if you want to hit it, right? Probably the easiest hit and the lightest hit is just banning the Guard Restrict, the grade 3 organ / piano / yeah, just the battle door one. And that will, a lot of people say that's not enough, right? The deck will still be really, really good. And I think that's kind of fine, right? You know, it will definitely at least allow other decks to compete as well on a better playing field. Basically doing anything to Steam Maidens will basically allow other decks to do better, right? And you don't really want to just, I don't think it's correct to totally dismantle a deck, right? Like hit Enterana to 1, you know, hit everything to 1, and ban all these other cards, right? I don't think that's a great idea because then, you know, you don't want to be like other card games where you just ban problematic decks to the ground. If Steam Maiden is still a problem after Worlds, then we can hit it more, right? Let's still hit it more, and then what? V-Clan Collection comes, and then hopefully there is more support, right? Hopefully there's more support when the next Clan Collection comes. But yeah, I think hitting it very lightly will probably do the trick. But if you really just don't want to see Steam Maidens, then you can just hit everything. You just hit it, and then we play other decks. Well, V Premium players will have fun playing other decks, right? So I don't know. I think it's fine just to hit the Guard Restrict and just see how it develops, and then, you know, go from there, right? Go from there, because basically anything that you do to Gear Chronicle would immediately make the format a better place. Immediately. Like, yeah. Just do it. The perfect emergency hit is waiting for you right there. So yeah, I think that'll be great. That'll also be great for people watching VPrem, right? Because I don't know. I think if you had a choice at BCS recently, where you could choose between a VPrem and basically anything else, I think a lot of people were picking anything else, right? Anything else. So that's that. And then lastly, for Standard, I think Standard is actually in a very, very good place for us in the West. Even if Youthberg is coming, even if Set 7 is coming, I still think it's still a pretty good place. I'm still waiting for the Stand players to test it out, and I think we might see a very, very nice Worlds for at least Standard. Even though people predict it will be just infinite Youthbergs, the West does play a different metagame compared to the East, right? To Japan, basically. So, we'll see. We'll see. Is Standard gonna have any changes in Japan, right? If we look at the Japan meta currently, it is Chronojet, Youthberg, and Ebisu, but basically, it is Chronojet and Ebisu. Youthberg's kind of fallen off a bit. I don't think they will hit anything there. I don't think they'll hit Chronojet because it just came out. I don't think there is a chance. People hate Ebisu, apparently. Like, it's just a very degen deck that no one likes playing against. But it's kind of weird because it's like a collab set, and it's not like Y Schwartz where like you can just hit stuff and go. It's what you sign up for, right? It feels bad, you know. It comes in a Vanguard, you design it not very great, let's put it like that, and then you had to hit it. Kind of looks bad. So, and it's also apparently it hasn't been out for a very, very long time, right? So, I feel like the chance of them hitting Ebisu is quite low. So, I'm just looking in the, I'm just thinking in Japan, like Japan meta, basically no changes. Basically no changes. So, I think the only chance for there to be a restriction on this will be for the West. And that the highest possibility, I think, is V-Prem, and then in Premium, I don't know. Right? I don't know. Again, like, I think people say, why don't you just ban over triggers? And yeah, I mean, of course, I'll say it all the time. Ban over triggers, but hey, we get what we can get, right? We get what we get, and honestly, I don't think that one's gonna happen very soon. So that is it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Will there be any hits tomorrow? Will there be any hits for the English side in the near future? Hope there is for V. I hope there is for V. So, catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. All right, bye.